I'm Beth Jacobson, and I'm here with Pam
Lathrop.
And we're here today filming the February edition of the Beloit Today Show. The noise you hear behind us is a construction project, housing for the Housing Authority. It's Parker Bluff, and I'm here this morning. I'm going to interview Kathy Pollard, and she's going to tell us about this facility, the progress it's made, and when it will be open, how to apply to live there, and pretty much anything you need to know. Who are you interviewing today, Pam?
Well, I'm interviewing Bill Frisbee, and we're going to be talking about the Working on Wellness Committee, or the WOW committee, that we have for the employees at the city. And then we're going back to you.
Then we're going back to City Hall, and we're going to interview Chief Jacobs about the CLIA certification. The City of Beloit's proud of our police department. They're CLIA certified, and we're just now going through this long process of the CLIA certification. So we've got a lot going on. It's February, it's cold, but we're busy at work in City Hall.
And so let's start the show. Well, since this is the February show, which brings to mind Valentine's Day and healthy hearts, we thought that we would talk about the Working on Wellness Committee that the city runs for the employees. We're here at Hilliard Park. I'm with Bill Frisbee, who's our stormwater engineer, and he is going to be talking today as part of the Wellness Committee, or WOW, as we like to call it. Thanks, Bill, for coming out.
Thanks for having me here. Yeah, we're just going to talk a little bit about what we've been doing with our wellness committee. The committee's been around for a number of years, but recently in the last year we started being more active and getting more things together. In the past year we've had several events. Last, I believe it was August, we did a health risk assessment where employees could get screened for any health factors that they may have. We did a pedometer challenge where we would get employees to wear pedometers, see how much they were walking. They could win some small prizes if they hit certain levels. And we've had some lunch and learns. We had a credit council person come in and talk to us about personal finance and debt, and we had a nutritionist come in last month.
I know that the focus of the Wellness Committee is more than twofold, actually. There are 5 components of the Wellness Committee. It's emotional, intellectual, occupational, physical, social, and spiritual. So that's really why we encourage things like credit counseling and nutrition and things like that. What other kinds of things does the Wellness Committee encourage employees to do?
Well, the big thing is just to do what it takes to stay healthy, exercise, eat right, and because this is National Heart Month, this month we're having a Heart Healthy Challenge where we're encouraging all of our employees to go out and exercise and track how long they exercise. And based on the number of minutes that you get each day, you'll add them up at the end of the month, then you can win some prizes.
And we just want to stress that these are very small prizes, but it's just sort of a little carrot to healthy carrot to get the employees interested in being aware of health and being aware of exercise. Let's see, you have some notes here. I know we do a monthly newsletter for the employees, and what kinds of things do we put on that? Or it's not really a newsletter, it's a monthly calendar. What kind of things do we put on there?
Our calendar has all of our WOW events, and then there's also other things that are going on in leisure services, like the Frisbee Golf tournament that's happening each Wednesday this month, and that's why we picked our setting here. There's also public skating. For the winter we have snowshoeing and cross-country skiing on there.
So we do just try to make employees aware of things that are going on in the community and around the community. Like Bill said, we are here at the Hilliard Park, which has the disc golf. Frisbee, no pun intended, but we're here with Bill, and we wanted to know, are you part of the Frisbee family?
Unfortunately, no. I wish I was, because then I'd have a lot more money. But a little story on how the Frisbee was invented. It was the Frisbee Pie Company. I believe they were in Massachusetts. And some of the employees were bored one day and just started throwing pie tins around, and that's how the Frisbee disc was invented.
Well, I think that we need to demonstrate the Frisbee. And since we're here at the Frisbee Golf park. We want to again remind people that all through the month of February, every Wednesday, there's Frisbee Golf Tournament going on, and you can call our Parks and Leisure Services Department for more information on that. All right, ready, Bill? Okay, go.
Hi, I'm here with Kathy Pollard. She's our Housing Authority Director, and we're at Parker Bluff this morning filming some of the construction. This is phase 2 of a WIDA project, and Kathy's going to give us a little bit more insight on what this project entails. First of all, let's talk about, it looks like there's 2 buildings here. Is that?
Yes, there is. Here to my right, we have our new 9 2-bedroom townhomes. We're hoping that we can house 9 families here, and these 9 units will actually be replacing 9 of the 4 and 5 bedroom older units that we had within our portfolio. So we had a bigger demand for 2-bedroom units, so these 9 townhomes here will replace the 9 big homes. Okay?
And I heard a rumor that this is the February show, and by the time this airs, we're thinking that the roof will be on the building.
We're hoping to have the roof on the townhomes by the end of next week. So yeah, absolutely. And this building should actually be completed by June, and we should have our 9 families housed by the end of June.
That's great. And there's another project behind that, and that's really sort of up higher on the bluff. And this is the other one that's taking the place of these smaller residents. Is that correct?
Right. We had 10 fourplexes up here for our elderly and disabled that housed 41 single SROs. Mm-hmm. Well, right now we're putting up a 2-story 41-unit building. If you probably can see a shot of our elevator shaft sticking up out of the concrete here. And this building will house 41 elderly and disabled, 2 stories with underground parking. They will have their own computer center. They'll have their own community room. Everything that they need will be housed within this building. It is a huge complex, as you can see. They will have underground parking coming in off the alley that we are also reconstructing. Mm-hmm. So this whole project right now is will result in a whole new look. If you can't see the buildings to the right of me, but we have still standing 4 of the units that were built in 1971. Mm-hmm. They will also be demolished, and this will be a total green space area out here.
Now I see when you drive by on Portland Avenue, you see a big sign that says it's Phase 2 WIDA project. Can you talk a little bit about the WIDA funding and where the money comes from?
This project is the second phase. Our first phase, which we renovated 65 of our public housing units, was completed at the end of December. This is our second phase, which is 66 units, the remaining of our portfolio, so that we'll have our whole 131 units redone. The funding from this is basically Wisconsin Community Bank has given us a construction loan, and the majority of the rest of it comes from National Equity Fund, who is our main tax credit investor. Mm-hmm. And then we were also fortunate enough to secure some federal home loan funding out of a federal home loan bank from Chicago. So that's where all the funding from this project comes to. Comes from. It's about $12.4 million totally.
Oh my gosh.
That is hard and soft cost. The construction part of the funding is basically approximately $8 million.
That's a lot of money. Yes. And I just want to clarify, I know that you've explained it, but essentially what we're doing is it's replacing homes that we have. So we're not getting more public housing necessarily, we're just upgrading the ones that we have. Is that?
Absolutely. We are not adding to our public housing numbers at all. Our portfolio will still be at 131. The 9 4 and 5 bedroom units that we're taking out of our inventory will be sold on the open market.
Sure, that's fantastic. Now, every time we interview you, can you just remind people how they qualify for public housing? Where do they go? Is there a period of time where they should come in and fill out the paperwork?
We are open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 o'clock. They can come in up until 4:30 and submit applications. Our public housing and our Section 8 program list are both open at this time, so we're taking applications for both programs. I will say that we have an extensive waiting list in our Section 8. Mm-hmm. We have approximately 500 people on our waiting list, but right now our public housing, especially for our elderly and disabled, which will be the new unit, mm-hmm. if people come in and sign up now, there's a great chance that they'll be housed as soon as we open the building, which will be early September.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is. That's very exciting. So if people come in now, I'm saying come in. If you are at 0 to 60% of the county median income, which at this time is approximately $60,000, then you can qualify for one of our programs. It goes on family size and the number of bedrooms that you need in your unit. When you come in, I will tell everyone, in order to submit an application, please bring proof of income, your picture ID, and an original birth certificate.
So proof of income, picture ID, and an original birth certificate. This seems to be the thing that we always have to tell people to come back with. So collect your paperwork. It's tax season, so pull it all together right now. And thank you. Is there anything else you want us to tell us about public housing? This is so exciting.
That's the basic thing that I wanted to say today. This is very exciting. We're renovating this whole area on this corner, on the corner of Portland and 5th Street. With some of the other renovations that are going here, it's going to be a new exciting look from our river, from the west side even, so and the east side. So please come over, take a look. You can drive by and you can see the construction that's going on from the street. Please come by. Very exciting project.
Thank you again, Kathy. Hi, I'm here with Chief Jacobs, and we're here today to talk about a couple of things that's going on in the police department. The first thing that the real topic for today is the CALIA certification, which is an exciting certification for the department. It's honorable, and we're just honored to have this certification. And but first, the chief would like to talk about a couple of things. I understand we're hiring 2 new officers, and for me that's really exciting. I always like to see that, unfortunately, we've had some retirements of people that have been on the force for a long time. But the good news is we have 2 positions opening. Can you talk about how someone could apply for those positions?
Well, if you're interested in being a police officer, what we'd like people to do is go to the website, the city's website, and follow the links to the application form for being a police officer and fill out all the information, add their resume to it, and we will consider them for a position. They have until May 1st to get their applications in.
Are there any general requirements that you'd want to say? Do they have to be a certain age? Are there some credit hours, or is there anything that they need to know before they apply?
Well, you have to have a driver's license. You need to be a United States citizen or a naturalized citizen. Also, by the end of the hiring process, you need to have 60 college credits. Now, I can tell you some of the things that we look for besides the 60 college credits are if you're certified as a police officer or certifiable. We like to hire people who have education beyond the 60 credits. We encourage people to apply who have special language skills, Spanish in particular. We believe that our officers are able to communicate with the community, really put us at an advantage also. So those are some of the things that we'd like people to consider when they apply.
Well, great. Thank you. We look forward to the hiring process and having some new officers on our staff. The chief and I were talking about the CLIA certification earlier, and one of the great things about these potential new officers is that they'll get to work for an agency that's CLIA certified. Can you talk about what it stands for? I know it's an acronym, and maybe a little bit about what it means to you as a chief to have this honor.
CALIA stands for the Commission on Law Enforcement Accreditation. It's a national and international organization that sets standards for law enforcement agencies all around the world. And what we've done is we have been able to show the Commission on Law Enforcement Accreditation every 3 years that we follow some of the best practices for law enforcement agencies in the United States. We have over 400 files that we keep on practices as simple as filing reports and how we keep documents in the department to use of force incidents, that we can prove that we're following these standards. We're looking forward to our 6th accreditation process that's coming up in April, and we believe that we're going to pass and we'll be reaccredited again. And I think that the community and the department can be very proud of this. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for the department and its administration and the officers, and it's something that the community can be very proud of also. There aren't many agencies in Wisconsin who are accredited.
And how many agencies are there right now?
Now there's only 3. Beloit was one of the first. Oshkosh came in later, and UW-Madison was just accredited last year. There used to be a number of more agencies that were accredited, but they weren't able to keep up with the work that's involved in the standards.
And at the City of the Beloit, we've made it a priority. We have a lot of files. These are just a portion of the files that we have on hand. But for you, essentially what we do is we go back through what we've been doing and we just check to make sure that we're following the standards that we've set. Is that how that works? It's just really checks and balances to make sure that we're doing the right things.
That we're doing the right things and we're doing what we say we're doing. Actually, the CLIA process has been built into the department, what we do on a daily basis. Our newest officers weren't around when we started this process, so the way we're doing business has always been the CLIA standard up to this point. What I like to compare it to is an accreditation process that is at universities or hospitals. You wouldn't want to go to a hospital that wasn't accredited. You wouldn't want to pay for an education at a university that wasn't accredited. Why would you want your local police department to be doing one of the most difficult jobs in your community unless they were accredited by some agencies? And we're accredited by the biggest and the best accrediting agency in the United States.
That's great. I mean, accreditation is an intense process, and I understand you get interviewed and they ask you questions and they drill you about police reports. I mean, they'll ask you specific questions about things that have happened. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's actually an excruciating process for us here because they hold us to the fire for the activities of the police department. They ask us some very, very pointed, very strong questions. They make us prove that we're doing the best we can for the community. If we don't, they tell us, and they tell us how to fix it.
And from the management side, I think there's some other benefits of the accreditation. I understand that it helps us with CIVMIC, with our local insurance, with our municipal insurance policy. Is that correct?
It does. CIVMIC understands that an accredited agency is less likely to be successfully sued. So they recognize that, and that relieves us of some of the responsibilities of this insurance agent that helps protect the municipal government. It relieves us from some of the necessary paperwork requirements because they realize we're doing an important job and we're doing a good job recognized by CLIA.
And we're always proud of it. So the process is in April. That's when you do the interview. And then when do you find out if you're reaccredited?
We'll find out within 30 days if we're going to be reaccredited.
And do they interview staff? Or I know that we've done this sort of mock. We did right recently. We looked at the process, but do they come in here or do you guys go to them? How does that work?
There'll be at least 3 assessors, and they will come to Beloit. They'll be from different regions of the United States, and they'll be here for 3 or 4 days and looking over our files, interviewing people not only in the police department but in the city to verify we're doing what we say we're doing, and then we'll find out after that whether we're reassessed. Now, about 6 for that process, they'll send us a letter and ask for some files, and we'll send off large boxes of files so that they can start looking at them before they're even here.
Wow. And just to wrap up a little bit, we always like to interview the police department and see what's going on. Is there anything that you want to plug, any programs you have, neighborhood watch groups, or anything else that's happening that you'd like to remind our residents about?
Well, we have new police officers in everybody's neighborhood this year. They switch at the first of the year, and if we would like the officers to get to know the people in their neighborhoods, and if anyone in the community wants to start a neighborhood watch group, I think this would be a great opportunity to call a non-emergency police number and have an officer stop by and they can explain how they can start Neighborhood Watch. I think Neighborhood Watch is one of the nicer programs that we have. It helps in neighborhoods and helps the police department and the community to have people who are organized at the block level.
Sure. So if you're interested, remember to call non-emergency and ask to speak to a police officer, and they'll send someone out to talk to you about crime prevention. And as always, Chief, thank you for letting us interview you. I hope the accreditation process goes well. I have complete confidence. I see how organized our files are over there.
Thank you. We'll be looking for the community's input during the accreditation process. There is the opportunity for the community to actually talk with the assessors at a public meeting and over the telephone, and we'll be notifying the community of that opportunity, so we appreciate their input and support for the process.
Well, great. So, and with that, look in the newspaper to see how you can support our police department through this process.
We have one more opportunity to interview Kathleen Bratz, Downtown Beloit Association Executive Director. Kathleen, after 8 years, is going to be moving on to different things. I won't say bigger and better because everything you've done here is bigger and better. So we just wanted to talk to you one more time and get your perspective of what's coming up and what went on before.
Okay. It's a little bittersweet. I absolutely love this community. It's been a big part of my heart. I chose Beloit. I lived elsewhere, and it took me a long time to move to Beloit. And this role that I've taken for the past 8 years was near and dear to my heart, but it was also investing in a community where I'm raising my son. He was 2 years old when I started this job, and he's 10 now. So what's so nice is that we have together been able to build this amazing momentum, and we've had a difficult economic climate, we've had a difficult real estate market, and we've continued to show some wonderful momentum. Now, a lot of people see so much in our events throughout the year. Those have been really incredibly successful. Last year was just off the charts with seriously, with the numbers that we had for farmers market, for street dance, for a Halloween parade. Really, really successful. And that's just a portion of what we do. And we've watched the facades changing and getting renovated and restored downtown, and some of the vacancies that we've seen over time get filled. So special, because it really is an economic story.
Yes. And there are more vacancies to be filled. There are more things coming downtown.
Yeah, actually, there are some, what you might see as vacancies that are coming along that have already been purchased, like the cheese people are coming soon. There are farmers market vendors that purchased the Welcome Home Interiors building. And Welcome Home Interiors is still here. They're just moving upstairs, and they're renovating the downstairs. They're going to restore their facade. That's one small example. It's not small. It's not small at all. But in the great scheme of things, there are so many stories like that are happening downtown. And it's true. It will continue. There's always more to do. We're so thrilled that the Wagner's building, that for years and years, it's been empty and for sale. It was sold. It was sold to the Hendricks commercial properties, and so we know that there'll be a wonderful outcome for that property. They're working on the plan now, so there's so much more to come. I'm really thrilled. I've been so privileged to be in this role and to see these transformations. When I first started the office that I was at the corner of State and Grand, I used to look out the window to what used to be the Woolworths building, and it was vacant. And it had been slated to become a parking lot, be torn down, and it had stucco across the front, and it had these vertical blinds. It just looked so neglected. It's now Bushel and Peck's. That took years. It took years of a lot of people working together to restore that facade, to work with a potential end user, to develop a business model with them, and encourage that and see it really blossom. That's, again, just one example. We've got many of them. And actually this year, First Class Cosmetology took 306 State Street. They were downtown, and then they tripled their student body, and they took what used to be the overflowing cup, and they've completely renovated it outside and inside, and it's this beautiful space that's now full, and it's a money driver. So what I see is us being poised for the future very, very well. We've got a wonderful team in place. We have a wonderful staff. We've got people who have been on staff with us in the past that continue to volunteer. Dave, who's working the camera, is back on our promotions committee. I'm so excited about that. So volunteerism, anybody that's in the community that wants to spend their time and really dedicate it to be a part of this, it's not one single person. It's a community effort, a wonderful supportive staff. We've got a great board who's looking for the next person to take us to the next level, and I'm really excited to see the future.
And we are too. And we just have one thing that we'd like to mention that's going on next week, or this week that this show airs, and that's the Beloit International Film Festival, which will have many venues downtown.
Yeah, it's such a fabulous event. Now, the Downtown Beloit Association doesn't manage it, which is a wonderful thing. It's yet another event beyond the events that we have, and it's so special because the entire downtown will be bustling. All of our boutique stores will be, full retail shops, and we have a dozen local restaurants for people to hang out at. So
we're looking forward to that, and a lot more fun upcoming this summer. Even though Kathleen will be leaving, things will be continuing. She's got a fabulous board and a fabulous staff, as she said. So we'll meet you on the corner of State and Grand.
Wonderful. I love that.
Thank you.
That wraps up the February edition of the Beloit Today Show. So we just wanted to thank our guests and staff. You had some interesting interviews, Beth.
I did. I interviewed Kathy Pollard about the new Parker Bluff affordable housing programs we have going on. So if you drive along, I guess that's 4th Street, and you look up towards Parker Bluff, you can see the development. It's moving along. Luckily we've had great weather, so they've been moving along very quickly. And then you interviewed Bill.
Oh, I interviewed Bill Frisbee, and so yeah, we got a little history on the word frisbee besides interviewing him, and we got to talk a little bit about employee wellness. So just so people know that we are trying to be healthy and take care of ourselves with the city employees.
Yes, and Chief Jacobs always wants to encourage residents to participate. So look forward to the citizen participation portion of the CLIA accreditation process as it becomes available. I'm sure that it'll be available in the Beloit Daily News. They'll tell you when to call in, and it'll be on our website as always. So keep an eye out on our website for that. And at any point, keep an eye on our website. We have some things coming up.
Yes, we do. And of course, we are so proud of our police department. It takes a lot to get accredited, and they do a really good job. I guess it depends on what end you're on, but stay on the good end.
That's right.
But we also wanted to thank Kathleen. It was our last interview with Kathleen, and she's done such a good job for us. She's always there for us when we call, and I know she's been so important to the downtown, but as she said, she's got a great staff and a great board that will continue the momentum that they've started. So
yes, we'll miss Kathleen greatly.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we got to squeeze in that last interview before she was sent on her way.
Yes, we did. And again, just a reminder to watch the website. There are a couple interesting and exciting activities coming up through the Parks and Leisure Services.
Right. So check our website. There will be going through some changes this spring, but they'll all be positive and hopefully make it a little bit easier for you to navigate. But Parks and Leisure Services, although it's cold, there's still plenty of things to do in the city of Beloit. So keep an eye out for those.
Okay. So have a great February, what's left of it, and we'll see you in March.
Yep.
Thanks.